I remember working with a senior pastor one time, and I saw him, and he seemed like a really mature person until you got him onto any athletic contest. And then the reality of who he was really came out. I mean, he became very childish, and it was embarrassing. Actually, it was embarrassing for people of the church. It was embarrassing for other people. But there's times where I've had that in my own life. And it's made me stop and go, why do I act that way? Why is it that I remove myself from this situation and I can feel my voice quivering and my pitch rising right now? What is that? And how do I help other people see that? Because that doesn't always fit within the seminary trained answers of Paul and where the law fits and all those different things. It's not what we teach in our discipleship stuff. We give information. We give more and more information. We'll talk about what we should do, but we don't always put the practices in place to help facilitate that. We think that it's a byproduct. And we're saying here, no, these are the attentional leadership skills and relational maturity skills is what they really are. Right? Would you say that? I mean,
yes, absolutely. These are relational maturity skills.
These are relational maturity skills. And today, with the fragmentation of the family, the crush of modernity telling us to perform, and something that's been caught up since the Enlightenment, really, and part and parcel of the Protestant work ethic in which we've been installed with. It's go, 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 do, produce. And if you're not, you just get, you fall to the wayside. You weren't strong enough.
Exactly. Well, I used to feel like my life was a teeter totter that went between performance and pleasure, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like perform, reload with pleasure. Okay, go perform, reload with pleasure. But the whole model was just me. It's what we understand. I love one of the pictures that Jim pointed out. He calls it Joy Mountain and Joy Camp. And the idea is that if you go camping, first thing you do is you set up your camp, you make sure everybody's going to be okay. And then you kind of set the guidelines. Okay, kids, you got to stay with your parents. You older kids, you can go as far as the lake, but don't go past that. Then you adults just be back by 8 kind of thing. Right. And so what happens then is at the end of the day, whether you have had a good day or a bad day, you're going to be with your people back in Joy Camp, sharing the stories of the day. Sharing what went wrong, sharing what went right, sharing the good things, sharing the bad things. And you can end that day in joy, even if you had a bad day, because you get to share all of that with your people. And so now your day ends in quiet. After the joy, it's now easy to find peace. You rest, you wake up in the morning, and guess what? You're with your people, you connect, you start, then you go out and you climb Joy Mountain. You might have a good day, you might have a bad day, but at the end of the day, you come and there's this rhythm to life. He says, so what really messed that up is it gets to be 8:30 and there's somebody not there, right? You said everybody back by 8. Now it's 8:30 and 2 of the adults aren't there. Now it's 9 and they're not there. What happens? Joy leaves Joy Camp. You go find your people. You want to make sure everybody is back because there's an attachment. They are my people. That's part of our group. We got to make sure that our people are okay. So part of the power of group joy in the discipleship process is it means that I've got people who notice when I am slipping away. They notice when I am not at the camp. They notice when things aren't right, and they go get me simply because I'm part of the group. I'm one of them. So without that group identity, without that group culture, without that rhythm, relational rhythm, it's easy to get lost. And so when we all have weak days, we all have our bad times, and when we slip into them, if we don't have anybody who notices, right, what's going to happen to us? And so that's part of the power of this, and why it is so important, is it just cultivates that rhythm that facilitates growth.